Hey, man, what do you want to do for the intro?
I don't know, dude. Do these people even deserve one? You know what I mean?
I
Like,
honestly, I have never heard anybody say, "Hey, that intro really tied me in to get
yeah.
you into the episode."
Hey, that
I
three
don't.
and a half minutes that could have been done in 15 seconds before the music.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever enjoyed any of this or done anything we've ever said. We've said,
Me,
click the link, send us an
yeah.
email, check out
Hey,
the
we've
website.
said send us an email at twofuckingidiotspod@gmail.com, right?
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
said check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of those things. We've
yeah.
said, please, for the love of God, if you care about us at all, send this podcast to like 3 friends and just write them a little note that says maybe subscribe to these guys just so that they don't go fucking crazy talking the same shit every week
Yeah.
to no new people. You don't even have to
believe-
listen to it.
We have said that a lot, so I don't know if you want to do that in this intro, but we could maybe hit on it if we end up wanting to
Nah.
put it in. If you want,
We better not. I'll sound desperate if I do that. So.
that is true. So let's, I guess, let's just try our best, and
And
hopefully people will listen this time.
all right, here we go. I'm gonna start it. Ready?
Oh yeah,
Hey guys, here's the fucking episode. Fuck you.
hey,
Let's start
the
it.
show.
Happy or sad, it's story time with two fucking idiots.
Hey, do you use your private tab?
Always, literally, never not that tab.
You only use it?
In fact, one day I accidentally didn't use it, and I was appalled by my search history.
Oh man.
I was like, I have to delete Chrome from my fucking phone because there's nothing I can do at this point. I can't go
Yeah.
back.
I don't like maybe it's obvious, but so what I do is I use regular because when you type in something on your regular tab, it'll complete the sentence, you
Sure,
know, and
sure,
you don't
sure,
have
sure.
and I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it on private, it doesn't complete the sentence. You have to type it
Yeah.
from beginning to end,
I'm
right?
willing to work hard.
Yeah, I don't totally disagree, but so what I have is I have like 4 tabs open on private, and it's like how to shoot a basketball, like what is the largest state in the United States or whatever. So that way, if for some reason someone got a hold of my phone, which there's no prospects. I mean, maybe Sawyer, but he doesn't know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. That they wouldn't be like, oh, he uses private just for what he should be using it for. You know what I mean?
Are you the kind of person that when you like hand somebody your phone to like look at a photo, are you like, don't you dare swipe? Like, don't.
I will never hand my phone to anybody for any reason.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, Steph and I don't care, but anybody else, I'd be like, what do you need it for? Like, what? I can,
Yeah.
I'll text you the photo you want
Yeah,
to see.
here. Can you not see it? What do you want to see besides just me holding it? You know,
Yeah,
you don't need to.
I feel like I've ran into a few swipers in my life that have just been like, oh, that's cute. You did this at the patio? That's swipe.
Yep.
And I'm like, you're going to,
Ooh,
nope.
above average. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like, I don't have really any. I haven't sent a nude in fucking, dude, 12 years or something. I'm like, if I'm lucky enough for you to see it in person, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
then at least we're already here and I've done something to win you over. I'm not turning heads with my Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not good enough, and it's not like anything. If I had like a mediocre dick, but like a nice body, maybe I'd be willing to send some nudes. But
Yeah.
but there are like 2 things on my phone that are for my eyes only. And there's like, the thing is on your phone, on your photos, there's like hidden photos you can add to a hidden photo album on your phone. I don't know if you know this on
I
your
do
iPhone.
know. Yeah.
But it's not
But
like
the
you need
folder's
your
not hidden.
passcode.
So-
Yeah, like it's now we all know it's there. So what's the point of it?
Yeah.
I should just delete them, but it's me holding on to old memories. So
Yeah.
anyway, what's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I had a decent
Yeah.
week. how are you? I was gonna ask that, but I was gonna maybe go on for more of what I was doing. But yeah, I'll just ask you now. How are you?
Well, I mean, people are. Let's be honest. They want to know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's
sure.
pretty much what they're doing here.
When you mentioned your phone and like your secret, photo stash or whatever.
Yep.
Steph and I actually this week. I forgot we took a. At work we have these things called lunch and learns, and they basically it's like you get a free lunch and you learn about a situation, and this one was all about like protecting your like identity basically, and whether it's fun or not, it's a free sandwich, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go to a classic French beheading if they're serving if there's food afterwards. You know what I mean?
So this guy gets up, like probably. He works for like a financial situation. His credit score is probably fucking like 912. Like it's amazing.
Just give me like 50 of them.
So there's like a little part of me that automatically writes him off as like a dork who doesn't deserve my time, who's made all of good decisions in his life. Yeah, exactly. But we were talking, and then he was basically explaining like password do's and don'ts. And I don't need anybody to tell me how to handle a password. I get it. Don't give it out. Don't fucking, don't send it in an email. Basically. So he was like explaining that you shouldn't have like a list on your phone full of passwords. Yep. For one, I do have that exact situation. And so every time he mentioned something that I do, Steph was looking at me like, you heard the man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then he mentioned that, you shouldn't, your password shouldn't be like a pet's name, or like shouldn't have your dog's name. And Steph has a password that is pretty close to the dog's name. So
yeah,
of course I gave her a look. And so he's explaining, it's better to just have it written down. So you have like a sheet of paper when you write down all your passwords. And then in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll take a photo of it and save it in my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like immediately, I was like, "Oh, I'm back to square one again." But to me, I was kind of like, "Fuck you, guy. How about that? I have 15 subscriptions I need to remember fucking passwords and usernames for. What am I gonna do? I can't do this anymore." And I started being envious of like people from the previous generation that never had to deal with this bullshit.
Exactly.
Like, you just had to remember where you lived, and that was it. Like,
yeah, they can only steal your credit card number if they had your credit card, right?
Exactly. Dude.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I'm imagining you in the meeting, like them being like, "Can't do this," and stuff keeps looking at you, and then finally they're like, "Can't use your pet's name," and you just like slamming the table, be like, "Ah, bitch, fuck you, and everyone's like, "What is?"
I just
on?
like quickly and like dramatically looked towards her. She was sitting right next to me, and the guy was like explaining on like a PowerPoint. He's like, "Anyway, so yeah, I see a lot of commotion in this area," and like pointed towards us because we were like giggling because we apparently have horrible password.
He passive aggressively called your asses out. Yeah, oh my, sure. Who the fuck that guy? Honestly,
he was actually super nice. Like I said, he's probably made all good decisions. Never done anything wrong. He was wearing like a plaid button-down, tucked-in shirt, so he really is good with money. That's how you know.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's either married or doesn't get any pussy.
I was gonna ask, just like, haven't you ever wanted to buy something you couldn't afford? Like, what the fuck what's the point of living? I don't know what's wrong with you.
I mean, maybe looking back on it, that's the cause of some of my depression, just, endless stress of not being able to pay my bills. But I mean, I love Netflix. So
yeah.
Hey, and Planet Fitness deserves my $10 a month, even though I haven't been there in 2.5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you
what am I supposed
to
do? Yeah. Cancel anytime. I will when I feel comfortable with it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
welcome back. Sorry, 7 minutes in. We're just gonna.
I was gonna do it like 3.5 minutes ago, but then we just I'm Robbie.
I'm Jordan,
and we're two fucking idiots.
Boom
roasted.
I worked a little bit on the website this week, and this is the stupidest thing I could have ever spent time doing. But you know when you go to a website and like the tab has like a tiny little icon of like what the website is?
Yeah.
Now ours has that as well.
Nice. Yes, dude. Yes.
It's called a fave icon, I believe it was called.
Okay.
And
sure. So if you like save it on your toolbar or something.
Yeah, there's a website that you can, well, there's a bunch of different ones where you can generate them, where you can upload a photo. It basically takes any photo and makes it into like a 12 by 12 pixel picture. Like it's so freaking tiny where you can't even tell. When it's zoomed in, it looks like gibberish, but zoomed out, you can be like, I think that's a 2, I think. Like,
sure.
So I had to like make it a little weird, but I got it done. So.
Well, the good news is by the time we get sick of each other and eventually quit this podcast, the website's going to be real good, real fresh. So I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm losing steam a little bit because I'm like running into like roadblocks that I'm not sure how to get through.
Sure,
And
the first part was easy.
I had to. I actually contacted the host site and was like, I'm gonna ask them a question how to handle this situation because I can't figure it out. And so I'm like chatting with like a robot, I'm assuming, or a person, who cares? And the person's like, "What is your domain name?" And I'm like, "Do I really have to put it in the email or in this chat?" Because I don't know. I wish I could have been like, two great guys having fun.com, which is probably a different situation. But
it is. It is one of my. What do you think I'm using Private Explorer for? So
yeah. So, but I literally had to write twofuckingidiots.com, and I was like, I feel so weird about this right now. Like
even the robot's like, "Are you sure that's your name?"
Exactly. Like, you did this on purpose? Did you accidentally type something different on when you selected the domain? But they didn't give me the answer because they just didn't know. So I'm in the process of fixing the issue, but
nice.
We'll see what happens. So,
dude, that's so funny. Hey, I can relate. Every time something in my life is hard, I just quit and move on to something else.
That's basically what I'm trying to do. Is just maintain my sanity with also being like, why doesn't this work? I don't know. But.
Speaking of things that I've been trying to get good at and can't seem to figure it out, I hit a few golf balls this week.
Oh my God. Okay.
I took Sawyer and I'm like towing the line between trying to teach him how to properly swing a golf club and how to not be a psycho dad that is like way too overbearing about
like
something.
Ruins the fun.
Yeah, that he might never care about for the rest of his life. So, but he still likes it for now, and I'll give him a few tips, and then I just have to be like, do whatever the fuck you want because I don't want to be like, all right, straighten your arm, hold the club up, straighten your left arm, you know.
You're like putting a club by his feet so he can't move his feet. And all those like weird drills that you see.
After like 3 swings, though, I'm like, can you just set up before you hit it? Like, can you not just walk up? Your feet are they're in a straight line the wrong way. He's
pigeon-footed the other direction.
Yeah. But you know what? I started something that I never really knew growing up, you know, swinging a bat or throwing a football.
Yeah.
Is rotating my hips. I don't know. That's just like not something anyone ever explained to me about sports, that you don't really have to be strong to throw a ball 98 miles an hour. You just have to twist your body fast enough to create the whip, right?
Sure.
And so that I've been working on that with him, at least, so that way as he gets older, whatever he chooses to do, whether it's a lacrosse stick or if it's a fucking triple Lutz or if he's into musical theater or whatever, he knows how to use them hips.
Yeah.
So
I think ever since I played sports, like no matter what age, there was always a kid or two that could throw way fucking harder than anybody else. And it was just, I don't know, like people call it mechanics because it's literally like the function of like your body, like you said, creating a sort of like whip motion or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I was never like that. For me to throw hard, I had to like be running forward out of a moving vehicle and like fucking with a wind behind me. And I remember, I think I maybe touched like 80 on a radar gun at one point. Sure. And even that was like tough for me. I just couldn't. I don't know. What really, actually, I remember this when I was like a little kid. Like, I don't think anybody had ever even seen a radar gun until I was like maybe sophomore in high school, maybe.
Yeah, invented in 2006.
Yeah, but everybody kind of assumes that they throw faster than they are. I remember benching 100 pounds for the first time. I mean, I got it up, ladies, but it was way heavier than I thought it was. Like, for some reason, I was like, why? I don't know. So I remember going to like a state fair with like my grandparents, and there was like hey, how fast can you throw this ball thing? And I was like, oh, I can do this. I have a full mustache. I'm definitely going to be good with this. And I think I threw it, and it was like 54. And I was like, I thought I was throwing like 82. Like, what the fuck? It was such a disheartening feeling of like, wow, I am not fast at this. You know, like, it was a little upsetting.
I for sure thought I threw the ball 70 miles an hour. Like, I just was like, 70's not that fast.
It doesn't seem, it seems attainable. Yeah. I don't know. It's
totally attainable, right? And maybe when I was young and playing baseball, like maybe I was sniffing 60, doubt it, looking back on it. But same thing. I think I threw, as an adult, I threw it like 52 3 times. And I was like, yeah, this is fucked up. I can throw at 70 for sure. Yeah, I mean, man. Without a doubt.
I think I played catch with a few guys that can throw like low 90s, and it was like terrifying. Honestly, it was terrifying because we were like in a ill-lit gymnasium. And I was like, the ball is dirty. I can't really see it in a normal light. This is I got a couple of bulbs missing, and you're fucking throwing it this hard at me. Like, I don't like this. And I'm not one that would like be afraid of the ball, but I was definitely like kind of shifting out of the way a few times
just in case. You're not trying to.
And when
those guys get hit,
well, and those guys, like the guys that I'm talking about throwing that fast, effortless. It looked effortless. You know what I mean? Just crazy. I don't know. I was never like that. I was always like frustrated by that fact.
Of course, I was a center. You know what I'm saying? I didn't the farther. Whoa. Okay, I'm fine. I promise. The furthest I had to throw the ball was like a shotgun snap. I wasn't even a long snapper. You know what I'm saying? I had to do it one time, and I think it dribbled to the punter. Like, dude, our long snapper got hurt.
I didn't play football, right? My whole life. I did a like football camp in high school because my baseball coaches were also football coaches, and they were like, listen, you're a bigger dude. We need you. And I am too shy to say, I don't know how to play. So exactly. I showed up, fucking tried my best. I didn't end up playing anyway, but the quarterback that they had for the team was like probably way better than me in general with knowledge of the game, just in general, like what's going on. But because I could throw farther than him, everybody's like, we need to get this guy as a quarterback. And I was like, I feel so bad for the real quarterback who maybe isn't like as strong as I am, but he deserves it more. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
He's like identifying the mic and like knows who to throw to before the snap happens.
I'm just overthrowing wide receivers.
He's hitting wide receivers in stride. But since you can put it about 15 yards past them, you're the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I was not going to be a quarterback. It was like we were like there was a little bit of downtime, and we were just like throwing the ball around. And I used to like to throw football, so I was like, I'll just trying to air it out, and people were like, whoa, like I was the fucking cute kid from Little Giants throwing the toilet paper rolls.
You've never been cute. So
hey, listen, I was a linebacker, and I could never figure out who had the ball. I would literally like any play action, I was like, I'm going to tackle somebody on my own team because I don't even know where the ball is. It was horrible. I was really bad.
Hey, my like 2 shining plays in all of football, besides Tony Milianti getting mad at me and punching me in the face. No. And I'm sure I've told this on the podcast, so I'm sorry if you've heard it, but the fucking the trick play where they like put the ball behind the running back's back. Have I ever told you? And the quarterback kept running like he had it.
Yeah.
And 4 or 5 guys passed the running back, and I was just like, You know, they say if you think someone has the ball to tackle him, thank God this guy's arm didn't snap in half because he's literally just holding it behind his back, and I just smoked this dude. And since he actually had the ball, it wasn't a penalty. And because he was just supposed to stand there almost like a screen and let everyone run past. But me, not being a fucking idiot, but I am a fucking idiot, was like, why is he standing there weirdly with his arm behind his back? You hit the guy.
I wonder why. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Man.
So, that's one of my...
We're heavy on sports right now. We're just
let's
going at it.
What do you want to talk about?
Softball's coming up, bro. And we got, as we've mentioned in the previous pods, there's two teams now. A little drama.
The nice guys and the assholes. We can. Who do you think I'm talking about? Carry on.
Yeah. We got a little bit of drama, but yesterday we came together. At least my team came together, and we basically sweatshopped all of our jerseys. That became a phrase in the middle of this group text that
of course.
No matter how insensitive it is, it's exactly what it was. It was six adults.
You guys worked for 4 hours, took a break, enjoyed your time together.
We were in the comfort of somebody's home.
Yes.
We weren't 11-year-old Indonesian kids.
It sounds like slavery to me. Go ahead.
So we came together, made some really nice jerseys. I can't wait to show you. I don't want to do it at this point because I kind of want to be a big reveal. But super, super nice. It was a lot of fun. We were there for 7-8 hours, and the previous year it took really long, just about as long. And the people that weren't involved in that situation, some of them were there yesterday, and they were like, "Why did it take so long?" And I was like, I don't know. We sucked. First of all, we messed up a bunch of times the first time, and then also it takes a long time to cut out all of the names and make sure you have the right size shirt with the right jersey number plus the right name, and having to iron things on is sometimes weird. And luckily I did not do any of that part. I just did the best.
The women did stuff. It, I'm sure, right?
Basically,
they did the ironing.
Yes.
In between cooking and doing the dishes, they ironed all the letters.
I don't think any dishes were done, so we'll address that at some other point. But the for the most part, so it was the women. But no, it was a good time. It was just super fun to have a cool shirt to wear to hopefully dominate this freaking softball league. But it starts in a couple of weeks, so. Whew.
I saw a rough draft, and I can't wait for you to show the design because it's cool, dude. I'm starting to think you might love your guys where you're working at, but you might get into screen printing. Really hard gig to get into to make business.
Yeah.
But you should just do it.
I think in order to be successful in a screen printing business, you need to be near a bunch of shitty bands.
Yes.
People that need t-shirts that are probably not going to sell them.
Every band other than us that we've ever played with.
I was telling them about the shirts that we did order at one point.
The gorilla or the egg?
The gorilla. Well, yeah, I forgot about the egg, but yeah, the gorilla one. And the guy that I had to deal with over the phone was the most California fucking chill bro that I could not get him to give me an answer or answer the fucking phone. And it was how old were we? 19 at that point?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. And I was literally the most professional person. I was like, dude, I need the shirts by this date at this one. And he was like, whatever you need, bro. And when it came down to the day, I'd be like, dude, where the fuck are the shirts? And I remember one time he had to hang, or I had to hang up or something. It was we were on the phone and I was like, oh, I'll call you back. Sorry. I got to go take a train ride or something, whatever the fuck I was doing. And, I called him back and he didn't answer. So I called him 3 more times in a row because I really needed to get a hold of him. And when he finally answered the 5th time, he was like, whoa, man, you called me 4 times in a row. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of you. You run a fucking business. I don't have time for this shit. Oh, that guy was so aggravating. But those shirts were dope.
He answered the phone and it was the beginning of a Lil Wayne song. You heard flick, flick.
Yeah. Basically.
Whoa, man.
Basically. Ugh. Man.
Hey, Represent Cheech and Chong, baby.
I had 2 cats growing up named Cheech and Chong.
Oh, rest in peace, man.
Which are pretty cool names for a pair of animals, I feel like.
Yeah. Suck your own dick a little bit more.
I didn't know what they were.
That you didn't make it up?
No, I was like, those cats were around before me.
That's true.
And so I remember telling a friend's parent about it. We were talking about cats or something. And I was like, yeah, I have 2 cats named Cheech and Chong. And like, she was like making us like ham sandwiches or something for like a dessert or a snack or whatever. Not a dessert.
Dessert?
Sorry.
Oh, man. I love that dessert ham. It's good.
And she was like spreading like mayonnaise. And I was like, yeah, so anyway, cats are Cheech and Chong. And she like stopped and she stared at me and she was like, are your parents potheads? And I was like, why would you ask me that? Like, I had no idea who Cheech and Chong were. But like from that point on, I started using the private browser and really doing some background research.
You're like, I cry when I smell marijuana, so don't even ask me. Okay. Like, don't even start.
For real, I was so confused, dude. I was so confused. It made no sense. But now I get it, you know.
Of course.
Cool guys. But we're like halfway through March, right? And I believe there's some madness going on.
It's madness so far.
Madness.
Yeah.
It's madness.
Oh man, have you been watching any of it really?
I just saw a few like highlights really. I wish I could have flown home and spent some time with the family and friends and stuff. I really wanted to, but the prices of flights, dude, are just insane right now. And
hey, let's go Brandon. You know what I mean?
Dude, the problem with it is like I went on like Orbitz or Hopper or whatever the fucking app that I have, and I looked at the potential flight probably 10 times, and like every day after I decided that like I just couldn't afford it and didn't want to do it, at least every day it was like, I think it was around like $500, which is a lot of fucking money to spend for like 2 days. And every day it would be like, hey, your Chicago trip is up to $650. Buy now. And like it kept telling me like notifications. Literally like on Wednesday it was like, it's up to $1,500. Do what you can. Like
get it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I've already decided. How can I tell you that I'm not going to take this trip?
Give us your life savings. Yeah.
Exactly.
The plane ticket to Greece started off at like $815 and now it's like $950, and I'm just like waiting for that tax return. I'm waiting for that Sawyer money to come back so I could buy it. And I'm like, well, what is it going to be? $3,000 is going to be my whole tax return by then. And then at that point I still kind of have to pay it, right? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I could swim there, but I swam like 10 half laps at the pool the other day with rest in between, and I almost drowned. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I can't imagine trying to swim that long anyway. I don't know. I'm not a good swimmer. I feel like I doggy paddled for like 28 years of my life. Not really even realizing. I was just like, what's up, ladies? Trying to get through, and I didn't realize I wasn't like Michael Phelps. I wasn't swimming well.
The nice thing about like being fatter now is that I float a little bit better. So it helps me because I'm not, sinking to the bottom every time.
Sure.
Which used to happen because I was solid,
Yeah.
But now I've got a buoy system, a booby system that holds me up. So
yeah.
Dude, I almost saw a car crash on the way home today.
Yeah? Did you cause it, or was it?
No, luckily no. I don't know if it's from riding a motorcycle, but I'm like too defensive of a driver. I'm paying attention to everybody else when I'm on the road.
Yeah.
But
I drive like a literal grandma.
Yeah, true. Like, I drive pretty reserved, and I'm even like, all right, can we kick it up 5 miles an hour, Jordan? Can we get moving here?
Yeah.
But so I went to the gym today with Stuke. He says hi, by the way.
Oh, hello, Stuke.
And Danielle. Stuke and Danielle.
Hello, Danielle.
Yeah, by the way, she's way stronger than he is. I don't know if that's like...
Stuke is like rail thin, just like...
Oh, come on. Don't roast him too hard.
He doesn't have any muscles or personality.
He's a baby back bitch. Yeah. No, he's stronger than he thinks. We squatted today. We did some leg workouts, and it's all about the confidence with him. You know, you got to build him up quite a bit.
Yeah, so good thing we turned him down for like 35 seconds.
Yeah, pussy. So yeah, we worked out, and then I was driving home, and I almost saw an accident. And in my head, like, you know, you break down that moment, what you would do if there was an accident or something, or if somebody needed your help.
Sure.
And in my head, I'm like, I was first in line at the light, so I'm like, I'm out the door, right? And I'm already thinking like, because I think I work pretty well in high-stress situations.
Sure.
Luckily, I'm like a doer rather than a thinker. And up until this point in my life, it's worked out.
Yeah.
Instead of assessing a situation, I'm like, let me get up and see what's going on over here. And so in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'd probably save some lives because I'm a fucking hero, obviously.
Yeah.
But then it's like 1,500 feet down the road, someone had to pull off because something bad happened, and I just drove right by. I wasn't about to get shot trying to help them, you know?
I mean, Steph has this ongoing story, and like Steph doesn't listen to the pod anymore because like I feel like the shine is worn off at this point. Like,
yeah.
I think she listened to like the first 20, but now I could literally say anything and she would never know what I'm saying. She would definitely rebut the situation, but she has this story that when she was like somewhere in Wisconsin, super snowy, horrible day, there was some guy that was like stuck on the side of the road, and she claims that she pulled over and helped dig him out with like a shovel that she had in her car, which she does keep a shovel in her car all the time when it comes to like, you know, snowy situations. So I'm not refuting that, but it's kind of fun just to like be mean about it. Like, she will be like, yeah, I shoveled this old man. He was on his way to a train convention. He had all of his trains. And I'm always like, yeah, that didn't happen. That's not something that occurred.
It's too specific.
Yeah. There's no way. How did you shovel out anything? You're tiny. I don't feel like, I mean, if you did, he wasn't really stuck. First of all, he was looking for something else to happen.
Yeah, and, he was gonna rape you, but he thought you were ugly, so you got away with your life there.
Every time she brings it up, I'm like, oh yeah, I love that story because it didn't happen. And she's like, it did happen.
Hey, if he was on his way to a train convention, he was better off in the ditch. Let's be honest. What a loser.
For sure.
I guess old people are into stupid things, so that would make sense. But
I feel like trains are interesting in person, like a real train, but like a toy train, I don't know.
Yeah, fuck it. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me finish my thought. I actually once, because I thought about this when you were telling the story, I was in an Uber once. I had taken my car to Pep Boys for them to change like a tail light because I'm useless, right? Like I don't know how to do any of those things, especially now. Back in the day, I was all about it, but now it's so hard to like get to the place you have to change the lights. Mm-hmm. And they were like, okay, perfect. I like gave them my keys. They're like, all right, I'll be ready in about 3 hours. And I was like, huh? 3 hours? What am I supposed to do?
For real.
And so they called me an Uber, and halfway to my house, it popped a tire. He's like, I can call another Uber for you. But me being me, I'm like, no, just get the jack out. Let's do this, you know? And so I helped him because he kept trying to jack it up, and I think he was like breaking the plastic underneath his car because he wasn't putting it in the right place.
Yeah.
And I've driven shitty cars for most of my life, so I've changed plenty of tires.
For sure.
And so finally, I was like laid down on the ground. I think it was springtime. It was like wet. I'm like, just give me the jack. And so I essentially like changed this guy's tire, or at least the beginning of it, and then just stood there and awkwardly watched him while he finished doing it, you know? And then he finished driving me home. He probably was like, he wanted me to leave so he could just take his time, but instead, you know.
You forced him to do it in front of you. You stood over him like a supervisor.
I Louis C.K'd his ass, kind of. I just like...
All right, like, on that note, let's just get out of this.
Let's flip.
We're like a half hour in, and it's time for Fucking Idiot of the Week.
That guy's a fucking idiot.
There you go. What you got, man? I feel like I don't know who's gone first the last couple of times, but...
Yeah, I'll go. Mine's a little controversial this week,
Oh,
honestly.
Geez.
Some people might hear this and think I'm a bad person for celebrating my fucking idiot, honestly.
Okay.
Um,
Is it Aaron
'cause
Rodgers?
he's-
Because I'm gonna fucking kill you.
No. So this guy I know, Baron Rodgers. No. So he's kind of a murderer, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Uh,
Stephen Avery, awesome, everyone. You hear that?
Hey, he's innocent, okay? Brendan doesn't even know basic addition. Why is he in jail?
Dude,
Okay.
we could do a whole podcast on that fucking documentary.
We should. Honestly. I'll watch it again. I never even watched season 2 because I was like,
I tried
disgusted.
to start it. Yeah, I tried and I couldn't do it. Anyway, go ahead.
he
go ahead.
for sure did it, right? Like, you can make anyone believe anything.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He for sure, he was mad. He had
Yeah.
been having sex with dudes in jail. He was like, I'm going to murder this woman. Anyways.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So Corey Pujols is a 27-year-old Florida man, of course,
Yeah.
who recently just took a plea deal for felony battery for killing a 77-year-old racist.
Okay.
And it wasn't intentional. He didn't mean to kill the guy, but the story happened like this. And maybe I can kind of like feel for this guy because I've worked in food service and, customer service for so long. You're constantly just berated by people for things that aren't even your fault.
Sure.
Our bar last night ran out of Captain Morgan, and this lady's like, well, maybe if you had some Captain Morgan. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not stopping on the way to work and picking up a bottle of Cap, all right?
Yeah.
Talk to the owner of the establishment, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
And so this Von L. Cook, 77-year-old man, was going through the drive-thru and they couldn't hear him. Like, for some reason, there was either he wasn't loud enough or there was a problem with the speaker. And so he started, like, cursing them out. And they're like, we can't hear you. So he pulled up to the window. He's, like, screaming at them. And they're like, sir, we will not be doing business with you today. Like, go home.
Sure.
We're just doing our best. Everyone's fucking short-staffed, right? Like,
For real.
we can't even handle what's going on here. We make $9 an hour.
Yeah.
Please leave.
Yeah.
Stop yelling at us. And so instead of leaving, he decided that it would work. It would probably work if instead of screaming at them through a window, he walked in. He'd probably get his coffee, right? Or whatever, his sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. Or, I mean, that avocado toast from Dunkin'. Don't get me wrong. I am currently boycotting Dunkin' Donuts because they got rid of hazelnut, which is the OG coffee flavor. So I'm a little mad about it. But anyway,
Sure.
he walked in and he starts screaming at him. And Corey Pujols walks around the counter and is like, hey, you have to go. Please stop screaming at my coworkers.
Yeah.
And Corey, who happens to be a black man, was called a certain word.
Oh, jeez.
Let's say it on 3. Ready? 1. No. And he was like, don't say that again. Okay?
Yeah.
Like this 77-year-old guy. He was like, don't say that again. And Von L was like, don't say what? Or whatever he said. He said it a second time, screaming in this guy's face.
Yeah.
And so Corey did what a lot of us have dreamed about doing probably 1,000 times. Threw just a quick punch right to the jaw. Okay?
Yeah. Ugh.
Which is why I don't punch people. You know, why I don't get into fights, because the worst case scenario happened.
Yeah.
Von L got knocked the fuck out, fell backwards, hit his head,
Yeah.
and died 3 days later.
Ugh.
I'm not here to advocate anyone deserves to die, okay?
Yeah.
You're right now, you're like, why did you pick this guy? But the reason why he's my fucking idiot this week is that he did get in trouble. He got a 2-year house arrest. He got 200 hours of community service. But they took into account the fact that Von L was very aggressive.
Sure.
Corey was like advocating for him and his coworkers, and they had already asked him to leave. They'd already called the cops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, you're telling me you've never wanted to punch a racist right in the fucking face, you know?
Man, that's tough though. That's tough. Like we said, like the worst case scenario could happen. So don't ever do anything. Like
I know
there's a guy. This is like not really even related, but there's a guy on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. The Cart Narcs.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that guy?
No.
He literally will like go up to people in parking lots that don't put their fucking carts back in the corral thing and like address them and like
Is
call
he
them
aggressive?
No, he's like kind of like passive aggressive, honestly. Like he calls them lazy bones and like it's kind of funny. But like some people that he does that to, I'm like, you're gonna get shot. Like you're for real going to get shot. Nobody's ever, as far as I know, have done anything to him, but I would be nervous to be on that end of like the guy doing that or the guy getting, narked on basically, because I think you would be frustrated. You'd be like, dude, get the fuck away from my car. And all of a sudden you accidentally push the guy. He falls backwards, fucking hits his head. And all of a sudden you're in house arrest. Like,
exactly. That's why I don't fight people.
Yeah.
Right?
Just
like,
leave me alone. I don't want to do anything. I'll put
alone.
my cart back, please. Also, I'm not a lazy bone, so I'll do it.
Yeah. I'm not. You're right. I'm not going to sit here and like actually say it's a good thing that this guy died for sure. It's a good thing he got punched in the fucking face.
Yeah.
I wish though, more than like wishing he was alive for like his family. I wish he would have just lived so he could have woken up and been like, maybe I shouldn't be so fucking racist. You know what I mean? Like
maybe I shouldn't be in a McDonald's drive-thru at 11:30 at night. I'm 77 years old. What am I doing with my life?
The only thing is like if heaven is real, I'm hoping he like showed up and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that you died." But you know why, right? Tell the devil say hi to the devil for me, all right? Like
I thought you were going to be like, if heaven is real, I hope when he gets there, they still can't hear him. So he's just like, ah! Like,
let me in, you stupid.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Even just that made me feel so gross.
For sure.
So anyways, yeah. Corey, props to you for killing someone and getting away with it. Go ahead, Jordan.
All right. My fucking idiot is... one of those rare, I don't know about you, but I sometimes don't have any sort of reaction to any sort of celebrities that pass away ever. I'm just like, oh, that guy was good in that movie or something like that. That's all I think of. I never really ever think about it more than that. But this week, one of those moments happened where I was actually like bummed out. Like Robin Williams bummed me out, right?
Yes.
Like for real, bummed me out. A wrestler that I used to really love wrestling. Yeah. And then I became like 12 and I was like, there's other things going on in my life. I can't do this anymore.
I don't smell anything, The Rock. Like, what are you cooking?
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it.
But for the first, 10 years of my life, like that I was coherent enough to understand, I was all about it, man. It was super fun for me and my family to watch. And there was a wrestler who originally, his name is Scott Hall is his name.
Yeah.
And he came out, he was like one of my first like favorite wrestlers, which is kind of weird. Like I was never a mainstream guy. Like I always like the people that aren't like Hulk Hogan, right? Not the big guy. So he was Razor Ramon when I was a little kid, and which is hilarious. He was basically like Scarface with a fucking Speedo on. That's all he like. That's how he talked. He was like not even Hispanic. Like I don't really know, but he was a super cool wrestler. Yeah, he's a super cool wrestler to me. Yeah. And then he went on to do other things, but basically it's one of those moments where I was like, fuck, man. I mean, he's 63. Like, those guys beat the shit out of themselves for 40 fucking plus years, and, it's bound to happen. But he's 63 years old. He actually had 3 heart attacks and was on, like, life support still. So, like, dude's a tank. And so I wrote down some facts about him. Just to commemorate the bad guy is what he was known as. He used to he was a fucking cool guy, man. Like
I remember Scott Hall. Yeah,
he was so fucking cool to me. I used to have like this stupid like Casio keyboard, like probably 20 fucking keys on it. And
Sure.
for some reason, one of like the sounds that was like a song you could play was eerily similar to his fucking theme song. And I used to fucking play it all the time and act like I was him. Like I would walk down my hallway and act like I was walking out of the curtain. Super into it. Anyway, he was born, or I'm sorry, he debuted in 1984, which is crazy because I remember him in like the mid 90s, and he wrestled until he was like 2015. I feel like I swear to God, like forever. He learned to wrestle in Japan, which is not that interesting, but whatever.
Well, but they have a different style, right? They're like high flying and like.
Yeah, he was a big dude, man. I don't know his actual stats, but whenever you see him up against like other guys that are like visibly huge, he's just as big as them. So I don't know. He probably just destroyed that entire whatever Japan league he was in. He was just
and
suplexing everybody.
I'm assuming he probably destroyed some Japanese puss as well. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
he was the bad guy. Yes. Sting, right? Sting, the wrestler. Not the singer.
Painted his face, sang in that band, The Police or something. I don't know.
So Sting used to have like neon, almost like a hurricane like shape to like the face paint that he would have, almost like the Ultimate Warrior. This is getting way in the weeds. People that don't know wrestling are going to be like, I hate this.
Hey, this is interesting, and I liked wrestling, but I think most of our listeners at least had some sort of
cursory knowledge of it. Yeah. So Sting used to have like a very colorful face paint, and then Scott Hall was like, "Hey, bro, you ever seen The Crow? You ever seen that movie, The Crow? Why don't you do that?" And then Sting basically changed his whole look to look like that creepy guy from The Crow. So like I was like, that's interesting. And
it worked
for real. Like he was just this creepy guy with white and black face paint. Anyway, he's the first person to have multiple gimmicks get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. So he's inducted as Razor Ramon and Scott Hall. Because after he was Razor Ramon, he just used his normal name, his actual name, for his other character. He was one of the formers of the NWO, which was fucking awesome to me.
Yeah.
Just overall, like super, it bummed me out. Obviously, it has to happen. It is what it is. But super, like, he was like my favorite guy for a really long time. And there was a quote this week. So, like, this is, like, the nice part of the fucking idiot part, like, I like to talk about. And then this part is where I'm going to kind of shit on wrestling a little bit and the overall culture that exists within the wrestlers.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird.
Well, rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Yes.
Say that first.
Exactly.
And now go ahead, Jordan.
Not even, this has nothing to do with Scott Hall. But Chris Jericho is also another wrestler. He was quoted as like, they kind of butted heads a long time, but they made, peace with each other over the last couple of years. But he said that he was by far the best pro wrestler he's ever seen to never hold a world title. And when I hear that, I don't give a fuck about premeditated world titles. Like,
exactly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. And people are like crazy about that stuff. Like the wrestlers themselves, they'll like tout their championship prowess. And I'm like, Vince McMahon made you win. Like, what the fuck is going on?
He chose you.
Here? Yeah.
Isn't like John Cena undefeated or something, or like one of those wrestlers, someone's undefeated, and it's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, there was like a big thing at one point where Goldberg, remember Goldberg? Was like 50-0 or something and just defeating people in 2 seconds, and it was like this phenomenon about him. And it was just like, as a kid it was fun, but as an adult I'd be like, it's not the UFC. Like, this is not real. What the fuck's happening? So I do think it's really weird when people like say that. So he literally said that he's the best wrestler to ever not hold a world title. Who is the worst wrestler to hold a world title? Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
David Arquette has held a world title.
Yes, dude. No one's congratulating Freddie Prinze Jr. on like the Coastal Pacific baseball championship that he pitched in before he went and found Jessica.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's
so stupid.
No one's like, hey, Kevin James, you fucking piece of shit that nobody likes. You won a UFC fight, okay? Like, no one, it's not happening. Yeah, I see him, Jordan. I see him there, and thank you.
Yeah, so I just think it's kind of weird, and like the Undertaker was like undefeated at like WrestleMania, and people were like sad when he lost, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Wrestling's weird as fuck. That's part of the reason why I was like, I got other things to do. I can't follow this anymore.
Jake Gyllenhaal didn't actually have sex with Heath Ledger. Okay, like
did he? I don't even know. I honestly,
he might. I'd watch it.
But yeah, Scott Hall.
Can you
gonna miss you, man?
Did he have like in his walkout? Did he have like Can you like show us what you used to do when the music would play?
So he would just like walk like with the most like machismo of all time. Like he just looked like a fucking gangster, and he would have like
walk, Jordan. Let's see it.
He would have like slick back hair with like a tiny strand that would like zigzag down his front. Like, he used to have like a bunch of chains, and he would get in the ring and like. With his like thumbs, you know, people are like, this guy. He would like point at himself a bunch of times, but it was like, I don't know why. I did that probably 8,000 times when I was a little kid.
Okay, move the chair, take off the headphones. Let's see it, Jordan. Listen, I want to see it.
There's not a lot of room in this room right now, and I can't bring the thunder right this second, but maybe someday we'll do that.
Maybe in post you can record it down your hallway and then put it right here.
That would be good. That would be good.
I'm just really trying to get your ass right now. Yeah, man. I rest in peace to him. I agree. It's like wrestling was, you know, a decent part of my childhood and stuff. I remember Scott Hall.
Yeah.
And although it is like scripted, those guys really do like take a serious beating.
For real.
For our entertainment purposes, which I mean, the probably top 1 to 5% actually end up making money, right? Or like big money doing it.
Yeah.
But they deserve it. And, you know,
there's actually a lot of like weirdness when it comes to that organization, like just in general, because they're like independent contractors. They don't work for the company. They just like work for the company. So like they don't get like healthcare or any sort of like weird benefits. It's a really kind of shady situation. It's interesting. Once you like know a little bit, you're like, wow, this is actually horrible for these guys.
You would actually appreciate this maybe, and I don't know if you even saw it on YouTube. I can send it to you, but you know, Vince McMahon doesn't really do interviews. He doesn't do a lot of media at all, and he doesn't really sit down and do like his life story interviews. But he sat down with Pat McAfee and did like an hour and 15-minute interview. And they have just the video up, and you'd probably really enjoy it, I think.
Yeah.
His voice is hard to listen to at first.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's from years of screaming, but he's like, it's hard out here, you know what I'm saying? I don't like intention. But
it's literally like 50 years
that,
of him yelling and like being a character, basically.
Exactly. And probably a lot of cocaine, if I had to guess. But who am I to say?
Probably.
But yeah, it's interesting. You should check it out. I think you'd like it. I even, you know, I enjoyed it. I've only seen the first half or whatever, but
yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Nice. Well, to Scott Hall, who passed, and to Albert Pujols' love child or whatever.
Yeah. I was going to say, what are the odds that two guys named Pujols have not very Hispanic first names? I don't know. Corey and Albert.
And Corey. One of the, I watch GM Golf. He's a golf, you know, the good boys.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, that kid grew up and went to high school with Albert Pujols' son because they were from Kansas City, Missouri, and Albert Pujols played for the Cardinals.
Sure.
And so he's like friends with AJ Pujols, which maybe it's Albert Jr., I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would
Albert,
assume.
what a fucking first
I
name.
think anybody that's famous is just like, my legacy needs to live on with my children. So they just name their kids their exact same name.
Exactly. I guess I should have named Sawyer Robbie Jr., RJ. So.
It's not to sidetrack that, but yesterday when we were hanging out, there's somebody that has a middle name where their siblings and their parent, like their dad and like their dad's dad, all have the same middle name.
Okay.
That's weird.
My dad and I have the same middle name.
Really? I've never heard of that before.
I don't know why I wasn't Robert Michael, because that's like the thing, right? At least with one of your kids. it's like your father's middle name. So Sawyer's middle name is Elise's dad's name. Sawyer James. James is her dad's name.
Gotcha.
Because she was like, his last name should be Bach, because you don't have any other, at that point, men who are old enough to have kids or anything.
Sure.
And for some reason I'm Robert Allen, which is my grandfather's name. And it's actually funny you bring that up, because at the field house today, she took my ID and was like putting in my information. And she was like, what do you go by more, Robert, or your first or your middle name? And I was like, my fucking first name. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Which I get, people do go by their middle name, but does it happen enough?
Often enough to
people.
Say it.
Yeah. She's like, all right, Joe, and he was like, it's Christopher. Thank you. How many people have
she had it happen like
that?
3 or 4 times in a row, and she's like, I'm asking forever. I don't care.
I'm asking everyone,
this
right?
is stupid. People that
she totally wanted me.
He actually said that his brother has a middle name, his dad, blah blah blah.
Really?
And he said that when his like younger brother was going to be born, they were going to name him like something Hunter, whatever, and he was like, fuck that, give him the same bullshit middle name we have, and like basically vetoed it. Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's kind of funny actually.
Jebediah Christopher, or whatever the middle name is. But.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of interesting. I don't know. My middle name has nothing to do with anybody. I feel like there's no way.
Kyle, my brother Jordan Kyle.
Jeremy's is Christian. That's nobody's.
Yeah.
Unless we had like family friends that I never knew about or something.
No offense to your brother. I was making a religious joke. Well, the thing is, me and you're similar. I can't just like give an answer because I feel like I need to justify it for some reason.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm named after my grandpa. He's kind of a dick. And she's like, got it.
Okay.
Stuke and Danielle are laughing at me, which my grandpa's fine, but I just felt like I had to say something,
For sure.
And then,
That's your curse, man.
She was looking at me like a big old bowl of
the Robbie
honey.
Part or the Allen part?
Well, maybe she was into Allen's and I fucked it up by saying my name. I go by Robert. So.
This is kind of a sidetrack, off of a sidetrack, but the other day somebody that he uses his middle name instead of his first name. He wished I didn't know that was the case, right? Why would I know that? No, most people use their first name. I'm sitting in the office and I get a airdrop request. Have you ever gotten one of those before? Like somebody wants to send you something?
Just like when I know it's coming, usually.
Exactly.
Not randomly.
So it says the name, and it's not a name that I recognize, and I am not expecting anything. So I'm like, decline. What the fuck is this? And it happens again, and I'm like, okay, decline. And then all of a sudden I hear like a little bit of like laughing from a little bit away from me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, you're declining my airdrop. And I'm like, it's not even you. I don't know who that's is.
That's not your name.
And he's like, oh, that's my legal name or whatever. And I was like, what are you trying to send me? And he's like, pictures of my kid, a video of my kid who's like a baby. And I was like, yeah, I don't need a baby video on my phone. I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is the baby doing? And he's like, oh, he's like sitting and like playing. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I don't give a fuck about anybody that can do anything that I can do. I was like, I feel really weird about this. And like he was laughing. And then really, in retrospect, it's not a big deal. But I'll never look at him the same way, honestly. No. I can't.
Honestly,
I've never wanted to airdrop anything to anybody on in that situation, and then like of course like something that's would you ever do that with Sawyer? I was like so weirded out. I was like, okay.
No, especially with no context. Like,
yeah, we weren't talking about kids. He wasn't explaining it. He wasn't doing anything. It was just a random person I didn't know sending me fucking videos of their child.
Yeah, I don't need that on my phone. If I need to look up a video of a random baby, I'll go onto the private mode on my browser. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, that ties it up. That's where we're gonna end it. There we go.
There we go.
Get wrapped up right there.
Hey, we appreciate you guys listening.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Check out the website. Check out the email.
Yeah, twofuckingidiots.com. And we actually eventually will have emails associated with the website, which I've thought about it. Is it really even worth it at this point? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm nervous that you're going to get all the emails and I'm going to be jealous. Like, if it's Jordan at twofuckingidiots.com, I'm going to be bone dry and you're going to be getting like 3 emails a week or something. So.
Well, let's make it happen, guys. Send us an email for the most part right now, twofuckingidiots@gmail.com. Hit us up. Check out the website. Click all the links except for the ones at the top because they don't do anything except for the email.
Yep.
And
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Peace.
Happy or sad, it's story time.